Hi fashion lovers, guys, today we will be making this particular gown asymmetric scarf gown. Looking at the picture, it can be short, it can be long, it can be 3/4, whichever length, and you can use any of the flay or fish pattern for the down. It is your choice, okay? But for this particular video, we'll be making this particular one you're seeing on the screen. All right, now if this is what you're interested in, keep watching, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. All right, now for my cutting drafting, I will be using this particular measurement: shoulder 16, bust 38, waist 30, hip 40, half length 16 and a half, gown length 36. Now my bust, waist and hip will be divided by 4. Whatever it gives me, I will add my sewing allowance. Remember, what determines what you add as your sewing allowance, and that allowance is what you're working with. Okay, now if you're using a stretchy fabric for this beautiful gown, you don't need that allowance on it. Okay, that allowance will not be needed, and your sewing allowance, you can decide to work with one or nothing. Okay, so whichever one, let's keep going. Now this is my folded pattern. It is folded into two. Okay, folded into two. You know why we are folding into two? Because we are getting the front pattern first. Now let me measure deep. When folded into two, I have 12 as my total, so it's within my calculation. All right, now the first thing first, starting from the shoulder, the beginning is usually our shoulder. Every beginning of your pattern paper, your fabric is your shoulder. Okay, so I'll place my tape. The first thing I need to mark is what my armhole depth, which I'm using 8 for this. Remember, you can extend it to 8.5, you can extend it to 9, but you should not get to the bust point. All right, so once you indicate your armhole point, the next you indicate your half length. According to the calculation, our half length, we have 16 and a half as our half length. Okay, now once you've indicated your half length, the next thing, we need our hip line. All right, remember, this particular pattern paper is accurately 36 in length. When folded, the length is 36. Now for my hip line, I'm going for 26. Okay, that is where it is right now. I just indicated my hip line. All right, now take your rule and draft it out. Get the lines properly. Okay, now for the hip line, you know how you measure your hip line. You place your tape from the shoulder down to the part of your body where the buttock is bigger, where the hip is. That is where you measure your hip line. It is very necessary because you need to know where to mark the hip. That is why you need your hip line. All right, shoulder to hip line. Even in skirts, you equally need to know where to mark your hip. So in gown too, you equally need that. All right, now having marked out all my lines, okay, my basic 3 lines, my bust, my waist, and my hip. All right, the other one is just my gown length. I need to mark my shoulder. According to the calculation, it is 16 divided by 2, which gives me 8. So I am marking 8. Remember, I'm starting from the unopened side. The same 8 I marked up here, right at the B, the bust, I'll mark the same 8. Okay, take my rule and connect it. Okay, take my rule and connect. Basically, I'm trying to draft out the basic gown measurement. Okay, so once you've connected your shoulder, the next thing is you start marking. All right, now from here you mark your bust measurement. According to the calculation, it is 11. 9 plus 2, 11. All right, once you have marked that, the next thing is your waist. You mark your waist measurement, which gives us 9. Okay, 7.5 plus 2, which gives us 9.5. All right, you mark your waist measurement. The next thing is you mark your hip. All right, you mark your hip measurement right at the hip. The point where you're seeing H is where you mark your hip. Okay, now you can equally connect the same thing down at the scale, but first let's just connect from the waist. Take your rule, connect from the waist to the hip. Once you've done that, connect from the waist to the bust. Okay, before we move down to the gown length to mark the measurement. Hey guys, if you're still watching this video, please do not forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, okay? And if you have any question, do not forget to drop it on the comment section. Now the next thing, guys, is for us to cover armhole. Okay, now this is for the front. Remember, I'm cutting the front pattern, therefore the armhole need to be curved properly. So I've curved the armhole. Next thing is to take this paper up a little bit. Let's go for the down part of the skirt length. Now for the skirt length, sorry, the gown length, you know the hip you mark 12. For the down length you can mark less. You take out 1 inch. Since you mark 10 12, you can mark 11. The more pencil you want, it's your choice. Now you can equally just work with the same 12, whichever one you want. All right, it is either you mark the same 12 you marked on the hip, or you mark 11. Whichever one, it is okay, it is your choice. Okay, so next in this part of it, I don't like a K if I always curve, give it a smooth curving. So this is my gown length. So basically I've gotten the basic gown length. What next? If you watch it closely, it's asymmetric. So first thing first, I need to mark my neck width, and for this video I'll be using 3 inches for my neck width. Now if you think 3 is not good, it should be 3.5. let me know on the comment section. But before you do that, look at the dress very well. You can see the part that extended to the shoulder came close to the neck. Okay, so I'm putting that into consideration before deciding what to take. So I went for 3 and 3. Neck width 3, neck depth 3, neck width 3, neck depth 3. Mind you, if it's not okay, you can always adjust it. Okay, and if you have any other better option, let me know on the comment section. Okay, so next thing, you slant your shoulder, then you cut. I'm cutting both the neck. Okay, now basically what I'm trying to get right now is a basic gown. Okay, remember what we are cutting is asymmetric, all right, gown, and it has scarf on the neck. Okay, now get your basics first. So we are trying to cut our basic gown first. It makes it more easy. So I just took out the armhole part of it. So moving to the side from the bust to the waist. Okay, this is the waist to the hip part of it. Okay, so the next thing is to slant it down to the skirt. Good. Now I've gotten my basic gown for this particular style. Now remember, the down part of this skirt can be fish. Okay, if your down part is fish, it's just for you to apply fish, add fish to the down part of it, add the flare to the down part of it when cutting it on the fabric. Okay, so let's go. This is my front. All right, but before cutting the back, I think I'll just finish with the front first. Now the back of this dress is strapless. There is nothing, it's just strapless at the back. Okay, no shoulder at the back, nothing, it is strapless. So have that in mind. Now the next thing is you open your pattern up. It is time to make your basic pattern gown to be asymmetric. Okay, so once you place it, you open it up. Whichever part of the first thing first is draw this bust line, connect it, to see the line on both sides, especially the bust line, to see it on both sides. Once you've done that, whichever side of these two places, all right, whichever one you feel is comfortable, you go with it. But for me, I'll be taking this one. All right, I'll be choosing this part of the shoulder, or this part of the dress, or this part of the gown, whichever way. This is this part I've chosen. Okay, so once you have taken the part you want, for me, I'm going this way. Once you have done that, the next thing is you get your rule, connect it straight to the armhole from the part you chose. Okay, watch what I'm doing, straight to the armhole. Now, I will not tell you to do this straight, no. I'll prefer you go freehand. You can see it is just straight, but looking at the one we have on our picture right here, it is not that straight. So feel free to do a freehand sketching on it. Use freehand and get what you want. So for me, I prefer it this way than being straight and slanty. I prefer it this way. So I haven't done that. From the tip of the shoulder, you measure. Now, if you look at the shoulder very well, what is left of that shoulder is very tiny. I think the maximum should be 3. 3 should be too big, safe. But for the course of this video, I'm using 2.5. If you think 3 is better, let me know on the comment section. Okay, whichever one you think should be better, let me know on the comment section. All right, now once you've done that, you get a French curve. You need to curve it back to the armhole. Now, if you look the part that has armhole, it is not that it's equally tiny. All right, it went in a little bit. Now with this curving I did now, is not giving me what I want, so I want it in a little bit. So I think this is better. Okay, now good, this one is better. All right, it is better. Maybe by the time we finish sewing, it will be a little bit in again, but for me, this is completely okay. All right, next, you recurve your armhole. You get what I did? You recurve your armhole. Now, this is one of the reasons why I tell you, if your pattern paper is not giving you what that dress is looking like when you're done on your pattern paper, it should be giving you similarity. Let it be similar on the pattern paper. If it is not, then you're not getting it right. Okay, so this is it. Now, having achieved this, you can see we are getting there. What is left is just the scarf, the belt that went round and formed this scarf. Okay, so what next? Now with this is how it looks. Okay, this is the outcome of it. All right, now before we continue to the scarf, we'll have to cut the back part of it, which is the back of the gown. Like I said earlier, there is no shoulder on the back. The back is strapless. So what I need is measurement from my armhole, from my bust down to the gown length is what I need for the down. And remember, if this dress has zip, you need to consider your zip allowance when placing it. As we usually say, whatever has zip, whatever you're making and there is zip on it, whenever it's time to cut the back, the first thing you do is mark your zip allowance. All right, so for this particular dress, my zip allowance is 1 inch. All right, and this is where it should stop. All right, the back is strapless, so therefore I just need to place the front starting from the B, the bust point, the bust line, or from the armhole depth line, and just trace it out, nothing much. Okay, now if you're still watching, keep watching. We'll still get to the part of the dart. If you watch this dress very well, there is no form of darts on it. So if you want, especially when you're dealing with fabric that is not stretchy, how do you treat the darts? How do you handle it? we will soon get there. All right, so you cut the down part. Remember, it's been armless. All right, the back is armless. There's not no shoulder on it. The length will definitely, it will not be the same length with the front. So this is the front part of it, this is the back. All right, so let me open it up. This is how the back looks. You can see armless back, but the front is asymmetric. Okay, so see how it looks. Yeah, there is zip allowance. You still have to sew your zip. Okay, so having gotten the back part of it, let's start with the neck part of it. What do I mean? The band, the extended, the part of it that is like a scarf, okay, that runs around the neck. Now for you to achieve that, is either you get your pattern paper, place it when you want to cut this particular thing on the fabric, extend it, or you place it this one, placing it. Now get that band you have cut out, you know, the length you want. It can be up to 30, 40. Attach it to this place. Once you attach it, all right, you can see I attached this on it. You can see how it's looking. Now looking at this already, you know we are getting this is what we have in mind cutting. That is why I told you, if your pattern paper is not giving you what you want, you're not getting it. It's not the pattern paper that is the problem. Right now, looking at it this way, it is giving us what we want. All right, the difference is the length of our band or the scarf. Okay, it's just it. So guys, if you have any question, do not fail to drop it on the comment section. Okay, now it's either you go this way, add the band or the scarf to it, or when cutting it, you place it this way, right, and cut. When you place it, the shoulder part of it will be longer, you know, creating that scarf, you know, attached to it. Now let's get to the part of the dart. What of the dart? Now this is my nipple to nipple that I'm marking. In case you want to sew that on it, how do you go about it? Now you can go for a waist dart. All right, you can go for a side dart or a bust dart. You can decide to go for a bust dart, but looking at this dress, you can't actually tell if it is sewn, the bust dart is sewn on it or not. Okay, so but remember, whenever you're marking your dart, you must indicate your bust point. So this is my bust point that I just marked. You mark your nipple to nipple, then you connect. So if you're going for a waist dart, if you look at the dress properly, the first dress we showed, there was no, you know, dart sewn on it or any kind. Okay, so but you want it fitted, you want to equally, you know, make sure the dart was done, though it will not be sewn. This is the best way you go about it. Okay, now right at the waist, I'm going for half inches for my waist. This is just a normal waist dart. Remember, what you're trying to do is snatch the waist. Okay, so our concentration is just the waist part of it. So once you've marked, you connect it from the waist to the bust, connect from the waist to the hip line. Okay, but first connect the down part of the gown, because you will be cutting it through. Good. Once you have marked this, next is get your scissors and cut. What are you trying to do? You want a dart done on it, but at the same time, you don't want it sewn. You don't want it to be visible. You don't want it to be seen. You're cutting the dart on the pattern paper. All right, once you cut it, you cut the other part of it. Take out that waistline. You're trying to give it a waist fitting. Okay, you're trying to give it a waist fitting. Once you have done this, you open it up. Okay, get your tape, place it together. You need to join them back together to give you that fitting on the waist. Now, once that is done, you will see the effect. The waist will be snatched. All right, the waist will be snatched. When cutting, you will have to cut the snatched waist part of it. Now you see how I'm joining it back together with tape. All right, I'm using tape to do this. Join it back. Good. Use your tape and hold it back. The same thing we did here is what we'll do in the other part of it. Bring it close. First, get the waist together first. The waist part of it. Bring it together. Let it snatch. Even if it's folded at the tip of it, it will fold a little bit. What is that folding for? Because of the breast. You're trying to give the breast, project the breast and the waist and the hips, sorry. The same thing on the gown length. Bring it back together. Use your tape and hold it down. Okay. Now once you hold it down, you fold it back the way it should be. For her, this is how it should be. Now looking at this alone, you see that it is snatched. The waist is more tinier, and more fitted. Okay, so place it this way on your fabric and trace it out. Okay, now another thing is, if you decide to go with just this waist, that it is still okay, it looks good, all right, you can equally decide, okay, I don't want a waist that, I want a side that, a bust that. Okay, you can attach a bust that to it. All right, so with this, right at the bust point, you can attach a waist, a bust that to it. Okay, now get your tape. Your waist dart, what is the length? From this here, you measure. It shouldn't get to the bust point. It should be at least 1 inches or 1.5 inches away from the bust point. Okay, from here you can measure 4.5, 5, whichever one, but it should not be too close to the bust point. What I measured right now is 4.5. Then by the side, I took half inches by the side. Then I'll slant it to the point where I marked earlier. Okay, take your rule, connect it. Now this can be sewn on the dress, or you cut it through and join it back. Whichever one you want is okay. You can actually achieve this, or you cut. So let's go for the cutting, how it will look. All right, so make sure the two papers are together and even. You cut the other side. Now once you have cut, you bring it together. Use tape and hold it back. Hold it back. Bring the other side. Okay, so it can be sewn together. So which one you think is okay, you can work with whichever one you are pleased with. Waist that or bust that. All right, so this is it. All right, so what you just need is take your pattern paper, place it on the fabric and trace it out and cut. Do not forget to drop your questions on the comment section. I will definitely answer them ASAP. Thank you for always watching.